Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Roofing Contractor, and welcome to our Best of Success podcast show. It's such an honor to have with me today Alan York, the General Manager of EagleView. Alan, great to see you, and thanks for joining me.
Well, you think it's a pleasure. I'm here with the queen of all things roofing, so it's phenomenal to be with you again, Jill. Always a pleasure.
I'm just trying to keep up with all the things going on EagleView, that's all.
Well, me too. It's been a lot this year. 2024 leading in 2025 has just been a spectacular time for us, and the innovation that we're deriving as time goes on is just getting greater and greater.
It is fun to see. I mean, you guys are such leaders in this space when it comes to imagery. But it sounds like there's some new things going on. What does everybody need to know? What's happening at EagleView?
Well, the exciting thing for everybody, no matter what business you're in, no matter where you are, is certainly the advent of AI and how fast things are changing in that regard. EagleView is uniquely positioned for this, like very few other people could be, and that's because we have so much proprietary data in our images that go back to 2001.
Wow.
And data points that we could never extract before because we didn't have the computing power or the human time to do it are now actually viable to us.
That's
so
amazing.
Things that you could think of that were possible but not possible because of time are now very, very feasible. 10 years ago when I joined EagleView, I had this premonition at the time. I thought to myself, with what they're doing, there will be a day where there won't be a property owner in the world that has an issue with their roof that doesn't know not only that they have an issue with the roof, what that issue is, and what could happen if they don't take care of it.
Yeah.
Right? And that day is now upon us. So if you think about all of the data that we have and some of the data points that we can tell you what the roof condition of any residential roof in the United States is. From a commercial perspective, we can give you just about any data point that you want about that roof. How big a roof is, how fast it is, how many linear feet of hip and ridge, all those things that people know us about EagleView that have always been there, continue to be there. But what's gained in all of this are the roof condition, the type of roofing material, how long the roof has been on the roof, and I mean, we've been taking pictures of the United States surface since 2001.
Right. So is that how you can tell how long the roof is? Because you can tell, like, you can pull up a roof and it will automatically know, like, this is when the tear-off was done.
Understanding when the change occurred and having a timestamp date of what the old roof looked like versus the new one. So all
right, that's fascinating.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating. So what it's going to do for our customers in terms of client acquisition costs and closing ratios, from a prospecting, from every aspect of your marketing to your sales platform, it changes it dynamically. Your cost structure goes way down.
Yeah.
Because you're not throwing darts at everything. You're throwing darts at very precise targets, and for a fraction of what it would cost you to target everybody. So it's pretty exciting.
So I guess if you're a building owner and you're selling your building and you don't know when that roof was put on, you can easily find out.
You could easily find out, but probably you won't have to, because what was more likely to happen is a roofing contractor who's trying to acquire customers is already going to pull that data.
I did this 10 years ago.
And you're probably not going to know once, you're probably going to know 4 times,
right?
Which adds legitimacy to the fact that you really need to do something about your roof.
That's really fascinating.
It's really cool stuff.
Well, the other thing I want to talk to you about, Alan, too, are some of the enhancements as well when it comes to EagleView, because there's some new fun things. Not only just it sounds like there was a lot right there, but I know you guys.
We only talked about a couple of them, but there's about 60 data points that we're currently. And by the way, if anybody's out there and it wants a data point that we haven't thought of, it's so easy to teach the machine how to pull anything out of the imagery. So if you want to know how many pothole covers are in San Antonio, Texas, I could probably tell you that in very short order.
Okay.
The other things that we're working on, we launched a product a couple years ago called Assess. It's a drone, and it's been a wildly successful launch for us. The number of drones that we have in the marketplace today and the amount of data that we've collected from them, again, going back to that machine learning, extracting it. So the use case for Assess originally was built around a damage detection post-storm. Gave a third-party legitimacy to the fact that not only are the pictures being taken, but they're taken at the exact address that is identified, because EagleView won't let that drone fly somewhere else. It flies only for the address that it was geared for. So there's just it adds a tremendous amount of trust. So if you think back historically, once upon a time, there was 4 points of contention that would occur between a carrier, a contractor, and a homeowner. Right? You had to deal with either A, was there damage?
Right.
B, if there was damage, what's the size of the house? C, what's the price it should cost and the scope of what it should cost to do that house.
Right.
And then lastly, is it the house or is it not the house? Well, as time has gone on, companies like Xactimate figured out the pricing structure and eliminated that argument between the carrier and the contractor. EagleView came along and eliminated the dispute over price. Assess has now come along and it's eliminated whether or not there's damage.
Okay.
So now it's not a contested point anymore. The third-party verified stuff. Well, what's happened with AI through the course of the last year with us is that now we have seen so many contractors using the product.
Yeah.
And they've given us so much feedback and they've identified different points of damage. When it first came out, it just told us if there was an anomaly on the roof and it circled every anomaly.
Got it.
Whether that anomaly was 10-year-old hail damage that had been whited out because there's no more asphalt left there, or whether it was fresh,
okay,
that wasn't something we could determine before. But as time goes on, now we can determine what kind of damages. Is it a hail strike? Is it a fresh hail strike? Is it a...
Okay, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
You can tell if it's fresh.
Yeah. Is it a mechanical anomaly? Is it a wind-driven anomaly? What caused that problem? All of these data points now are figured back into Assess, and as the product improves, it's just telling the carriers more and more information that just continues to build that trust that's been deteriorated over time.
So help me understand. So with Assess then, so if I'm a contractor and I order up an Assess program, is that how you would say it?
Yeah, you would. If you were a contractor, you would be licensed to use our Assess drone. That's the first thing you would do. If you were licensed to use the Assess drone and you went out to a claim, it's a fully autonomous flight, which we didn't even talk about because that was last year's story. But
right.
Yeah.
So, but the Assess drone will take pictures of that home
takes extremely consistent
or building,
pictures. Yes.
In addition to what you have from the airplanes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is separate.
Separate.
So it gets a little bit closer and it's a little bit more detailed.
It gets very close. It flies 4 feet off the deck, and it takes.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, the pixels are like 0.01 of an inch.
It's like you're walking there with
it's as good as your eye can see it.
That's amazing.
That's what we're delivering.
Okay, how cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool stuff, and it's just been like one of my proudest things because I think it's been a long time coming till somebody could solve this problem, and there were other drone providers that were trying to solve the problem, but the autonomous flight that Assess provides is what allows it to happen.
Yeah.
So the next phase of technology on that, which is going to be really exciting, and we're making and works with some partners to make this happen, is the scope, which is that another piece of that conflict.
Right.
What's on the Assess drone, because it flies such a consistent pattern, some of our partners are allowed to take those images and then they can remodel that house the same way we would, but through machine learning they're building out the scoping of exactly what needs to be replaced on that roof.
Wow.
So now you got size, you got if there's damage or not, you got what the price is, and then you got exactly what needs to be replaced on that roof, all in one platform that's seamless. And
that is amazing.
It's amazing.
That really is so.
It's going to revolutionize things.
Yeah, that is beyond time saving for sure.
But there's lots of other things too. So,
I know there are. Well, in addition to that, it also sounds like you've got some things going on with windows and doors. What does everybody need to know about this?
Well, it's walls, windows, and doors.
Okay, walls, windows, and doors.
We've always had a walls, windows, and doors product. But we've made significant enhancements to it over time.
Okay.
The first enhancement we've made over it is separation of materials. So if you've got masonry on the wall, we're not measuring. It used to be we just gave you the exact measurement of exactly what you would see and had no deterrence on whether it was masonry, whether it was wood, or whether it was vinyl siding. Now we have separation materials, logging those things out.
And so that's for the contractor who does also siding?
That's for the contractor that does also siding. So we always had a siding product. Now we have another product called windows, walls, and doors. So we're going to give you window measurements. So
windows and doors.
Yeah, you can estimate your windows from it as well.
That is so cool.
And then we tied all of them together into one product called Full House, which basically gives you roof, walls, windows, doors, all in one place. And obviously when you bundle them all together, you get a discount across the board on all of them. So
you guys are amazing.
No, it's pretty exciting stuff.
All right, Full House, here we go.
Yep, Full House.
Full throttle, Full House.
We're at the roofing, we're at the roofing contractor booth, but here we are talking about windows and walls.
Absolutely.
But there's enough overlap there that I think it matters. So.
I love it. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any questions for EagleView or for you, what's the website? Where do they go to find out more?
www.eagleview.com, which is also brand new and recently refreshed with all kinds of new things as well, which
of course it is.
If we had enough time, we could go into all of it, but there's just a lot of, as I said when this started, 2024 was a direct change in our company. We are now a product-led company. We are leading every step of the way with new product and innovations on the regular.
Yes, you are. It's always so fun to talk to you, Alan, and see hear what's going on, because there's nothing more exciting than EagleView, because you guys are always innovating.
Well,
for sure.
I appreciate all my time with you, and I'm looking to spend more time with you this year in April. I think we'll be together again out in San Diego, so that'll be exciting.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, we're always going to be launching.
Absolutely,
so that's where we're
I love
at.
it. Sounds great. So it's EagleView.com.
EagleView.com.
Sounds great. And if anybody has any questions for us, it's roofingcontractor.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, especially make sure you sign up for our e-newsletters, register for our website. It's all free to do that. Follow us on our social media channels so you can stay up to date on all the great content we are putting together, especially these awesome interviews like we are today with EagleView and Alan. But most importantly, stay safe and healthy. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, Alan.
Thank you, Jill.